As we move towards the end of the year, we speak to colouring foods business GNT about its recent challenges amid the pandemic, also about its attendance at the digital version of FI Connect, and also looking ahead to next year's World Confectionery Conference taking place in Brussels in October.
Yeah, I mean this is an exciting time of year for GNT, for our company, and particularly for Xberry, our flagship product brand, because it's all about colour, it gives us an opportunity to really take a close look at what's happening in the market, what trends are emerging, where is the consumer, and when we bring all those elements together, we then relate that to, if you like, the visual sense, the importance of colour, and it gives us an opportunity to call out to industry, to call out to our customers, a colour that we think can play a more significant role in, let's say, product development, bringing new products to market or enhancing existing products. And we've done this for the last few years quite successfully. We always launch it. Timing of FIE is perfect because this is usually at this time of year, late November, December. And of course, by that time, you're thinking ahead to the following year. Of course, I think everybody this year is exhausted by the current year, 2020, and hoping and has great hopes for 2021. And I think that's another factor that comes into play. So we want to build some excitement, to build some kind of positivity. And when you take all these issues that I've just mentioned and map them out, the color shade that resonates and fits with this is the shade red, or the color red, which of course can manifest itself in many different tonalities. So we would embrace all of those. So you can make red communicate a number of things. It can communicate a particular flavor. It can communicate a particular emotion. As we know, red would be associated with love or passion, but it could also be associated with danger or alert. So there's lots of ways you can play with the visual sense, which of course is already present in terms of food and drink that's on the shelf. So, but we think there's an opportunity to take this further.
It seems as if that there is a real drive towards creating ever more clean label that this fits into. So can you talk to me about some of the trends that are evolving around the wider subject of your specialist area?
I would say we're quite fortunate to be in the right place. When we look at the trends that are playing out, or some of the trends that are playing out, I think the consumer's interest in, let's call it cleaner label ingredients, in our case, cleaner label colors. So, we use the term coloring food. Also in sustainability. So again, there's a really good fit between how we manage our supply chain right back to the farm or the raw material. So we have complete control of this process, so-called farm to fork, which is super important, and more important, I think, growing in importance. You've probably seen that I think for next year, Innova have called out transparency as their number one trend.
Yes.
This kind of fits very much with that. So for us, it's about the supply chain, it's about transparency, it's about honesty, it's about trust, it's about giving the consumer, let's say, no surprises. Of course, then we have the connection with natural. So again, we have a good fit in this area. So all of these trends are, are very prominent, and are positive influences on what we offer as a company. Then you can get into category-specific things. So then we would think about, the plant-based area, which is, increasingly important and has much further growth opportunities. And again, I think if you talk about plant-based foods, consumers still have an expectation that not only does it taste good, not only does it meet their dietary requirements, whatever they might be, but also that it looks appealing, and that's where we can play and help in this specific category.
How important do you believe that it is that we stage events like the World Confectionery Conference and others in terms of engaging with the industry and keeping momentum going?
Yeah, absolutely. I think we have a long history of being committed to these kinds of events. Of course, traditionally they would be very physical, and you were there, personally, and yeah, that um, is one way of demonstrating your capabilities. I think we're all learning ways of demonstrating capabilities digitally. We really like the category-specific shows because like the focus on confectionery. This is an important category for us, and when the world of confectionery comes together under one roof, whether that's a physical roof or a digital roof, then of course we there have lots of customers, lots of opportunities, lots of prospects, and lots of exciting things we can demonstrate. And for sure we will use our collar of the year in such an event, again, whether that's digital, physical, or combination of the two.
Sure. And on that note, this year has been a very challenging one for everyone in many regards in terms of supply chains and just getting products to market. So can you explain how the coronavirus crisis has impacted on GNT in particular?
Yeah, no, I mean, the impact on GNT, I think you could say would be very similar to the impact on everybody else in the market. I think what it was really important this year was it really called on the strengths of our business model, our supply chain, our investment in inventory. So inevitably, if we cast our minds back a few months ago, or quite a few months ago to say March, this came as a big hit. There was no time to prepare for it. It was somehow unprecedented, and you had to quickly deal with this. And of course, it generated a spike in demand because everybody was very nervous, very concerned about availability. And we had to deal with that, which we did very well. In addition, of course, to personal safety for our team, making sure we could keep operating, keep our factories running. That obviously was an equal priority, but continuing to supply our customers, even when they were, bringing forward 3 months demand, we managed to do that. And then, of course, you also had logistical challenges, getting goods from A to B, particularly when you're global. So it called on all of our strengths, and I think our long-standing model of being in control of the supply chain, having the cover of raw material to be able to do this was invaluable. And I'm very pleased to say, and certainly not being arrogant, but that we supported our customers and got through this. And of course, now we see the second wave, which I would say at the moment is not as dramatic as those months between, say, March and June. But nevertheless, we continue to meet the demands of the market, and we very much look forward to the hopefully in the short term, the kind of recovery to the normality.